Welcome back to Psycho Opinion. You're watching just one part of a breakdown and discussion of the Wrong Turn franchise. Your discretion is advised, and there are spoilers ahead. Comment, like, and subscribe if you enjoy this video, and stay to the end if you would like to see a remastered, re-envisioned Wrong Turn trailer done by Psycho Opinion. Thank you.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back, or thank you for continuing to watch this Psycho Opinion movie marathon breakdown of Wrong Turn, or the Wrong Turn franchise. It's back to the show with Jen and I, who, as I explained earlier, had the pleasure and painstaking job of watching these films so that we could talk about them with you, not talk to them about you. Of course, that'd be weird. But we're going to talk to you about them. So we already covered Wrong Turn 1, and if you haven't seen, or first Wrong Turn, if you will, of the franchise, and if you haven't seen that episode of us talking about that and you're interested, please go back and watch it now, because we're about to discuss Wrong Turn 2, which is called Wrong Turn 2 Dead End. And this one here, Jen's going to give us a summary in a second here. This one here, we kind of didn't get as much into the freaks in the first one, but this one here is a different cast of freaks. The main cast of freaks is Three Finger, Sawtooth, and One Eye, and those were the ones in the first film, and there is a ongoing romance with them throughout the movies, but this one in particular it introduces new cannibals. We have Ma, Pa, brother, and sister, which kind of sounds like the Berenstain Bears or something here. And then we still have Three Finger and the Old Man, which is why I said the Old Man would be important in the last episode, because he does return in this one here. So Three Finger and the Old Man are the only ones returning characters from the first film. This time, the cannibals hunt down a group of reality show contestants who are taking part in a survival reality TV show. And Jen's going to give us a little bit more on that right now.
A little bit more. Quite a lot more. Bear with me. All right. Wrong Turn 2, Dead End, was in 2007. It does have Henry Rollins in it. Quite notable character, that one. It is also...
Probably the only one anybody will know.
Yeah, probably. And it is in West Virginia again. It opens with a failing actress who takes a wrong turn and accidentally hits a local guy in backwoods West Virginia. She tries to save his life. He spits out blood and then immediately bites her lower face off. Nice. Then his buddy splits her down the middle with an axe. It cuts away to a video talking about the world in chaos. That was one of my favorite parts, by the way, when he splits her.
That was one of my favorite parts in the movie Terrifier, so I definitely understand.
It cuts away to a video talking about the world in chaos. Government is no longer in control. It is an intro for a reality survival show with retired Marine Colonel Dale Murphy, who is Henry Rollins.
Henry Rollins.
Yeah.
Black Flag.
The show is called Apocalypse. I believe it's called Apocalypse. There might be more to that title. I'm not sure. We see that the girl from earlier was supposed to be on the show. Other contestants, there's a skater guy from California. There's Elena, some girl in a bathing suit, because we don't know that much about her yet, I guess. I think she might be a model. I'm not sure. Nina is an artist who looks edgy from New York. I think she's a graphic designer. And
of course she is.
Yeah. Jake, a football star that got an injury that ended his career. Amber.
Great name. Jake, that's a great name for a character.
Oh, yeah. You would like that name.
Yeah, I would like that.
Amber, a Mexican-American soldier. They have 5 days to survive there. There's lots of cheesy and sexist humor. We meet some of the crew of the show, the parrot heads. We see these guys, they seem to not really take the show seriously. I think they work on as the crew. I think they're part of the crew.
Yeah.
And then the producer is a meek and mild sort of girl, kind of plain but pretty, you know. She's going out with the director guy. He takes the show very seriously. Since they can't get a hold of an actress, they are short a contestant, so they make the decision to use their female producer. The first round is split into two teams. They get radiation cards. There's a radiation elimination that tests their will, endurance, and fate. Someone on the crew later in the movie gets scalped. Sorry, these notes are kind of all over the place. Producer, yeah. Producer girl wins a mini challenge. Skater guy is super annoying and makes a lot of dumb sex jokes. Yeah.
Meathead.
He's a meathead, yeah. Football jock doesn't want to participate in the sex sells aspect of the show, which is kind of refreshing, I guess. Director cheats on his girlfriend with one of the contestants. A cannibal watches from a bush. Oh, yeah. Kind of liked that part. Producer girl also sees director boyfriend cheating on her. Edgy girl gives her a pep talk about only thinking about herself and forgetting about her boyfriend from now on. Skater guy and military girl find meat being cooked in the woods. They don't know who cooked it or what kind of meat it is, but they eat it with the sports guy.
Who does that?
Yeah, it's like mystery meat, but I guess they were like really hungry. I don't
guess
know.
also if you're on a reality show, you're probably like, oh, it's something they left here or something. I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm trying to process.
Like maybe they think it is for them because of the show. Like that makes sense. Like I didn't actually think about that. Edgy girl and producer girl go into. Sorry, I keep calling them that, but I just kind of like I have their names, but I feel like if I name them like as I do the summary, no one's gonna remember who they are. So anyway, Edgy girl and producer girl go into a shack in the woods. They hide and watch a deformed baby being born from another cannibal. Producer girl gets an axe to the head. Edgy girl gets away. The swimsuit model type girl is tanning near the water, and one of the cannibals masturbates, but then he is caught by his wife, who hacks and slashes the model up. That was the one I liked. I liked that part.
Oh man.
So Henry Rollins is captured by the cannibals. He sees them ripping intestines out of bodies. He uses his expert military training to punch and shoot his way out. Cannibals take over the show's RV and kill the director with arrows through the throat. We do find out some of the contestants' backstory, but it seems a bit underdeveloped. The three that ate the meat finally realized they were eating a human. Kind of funny because that makes them cannibals now, too. You're right. Henry Rollins talks to an old guy. That's right. It is the guy from the first one. I forgot that was in this one.
Oh, yeah.
He talks to an old guy he meets in the woods that tells him the backstory of how the cannibals come to be the way they are. Poison in the form of pollution from the paper mill killed off all the animals and the fish mutated. A local woman gave birth to a bunch of mutant babies and they had to eat humans to survive. Then, surprise, the man is their father. The old man. The old man attacks Rollins, but he is no match for his quick military skills. Rollins blows him up with a stick of dynamite. The guy and military girl are running in the woods, and Skater Guy says he now has respect for all women after watching how tough she is. It was then I knew he was next to die.
Revelation.
Yeah.
He's becoming a decent human being.
Yep. A couple of acts of kindness between the two later, and they both get caught upside down in a trap. The cannibal shoots an arrow through both of their heads and opens his mouth under them as the blood drips down into his. Yeah, that was kind of cool. Sports guy and edgy girl still on the run. They are lured in the RV where they see a taping of director guy being beheaded. They are both captured. Do you take the right turn to heaven or the wrong turn to hell? I don't know why I have that in there. Was that a quote? I don't
know.
remember. Can be heard on the radio. Oh, that's right. It was on the radio.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, it's been like some
I
weeks
thought
since
I thought you were getting artsy on us.
no.
Like, Jen's getting
It
poetic.
it had been some weeks since I've seen this, so I forgot what that came from. So it was on the radio, it was on what seems like a religious program. They are tortured at the dinner table, and they pray in a grunting type way. Yeah, the cannibals pray in a grunting type way. I kind of liked that part. I liked the whole part when they were at the table. Henry Rollins, armed and looking a bit like Rambo, he kills two of them with a dynamite stick attached to an arrow. He tries to rescue them, but gets attacked with arrows and chains. He dies in a glorious pool of blood. Survivors throw two cannibals into a giant grinder. They find an abandoned red Mustang convertible. The same car. Oh, that's two survivors. Find an abandoned red Mustang convertible. The same car driven by the actress killed in the very beginning of the movie. They drive away and escape. Last shot is remaining cannibal feeding toxic waste and a human finger to a deformed baby.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Work of art. Work of art.
I tried to read it with feeling.
Yeah.
Dynamic reading.
So, summarizing this movie, I can't
quick
say.
version.
Yeah, that was the.
That was
Reader's
longer.
Digest version. So this one here, I'm definitely going to say did not hit the same way as the first one, especially if you watch them in order. My notes here, right off the bat, my first note here was something definitely took a wrong turn with this movie.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I knew you were probably going to be harsher on this one than I was.
Yeah. I mean, there are some redeeming qualities, and I'll get to that in just a second. But my notes say something took a wrong turn with this movie. This movie is just bad. I want it to be better because Henry Rollins is the star of it, but that doesn't really help. It was written to play out much like the first film, which was a success and household name to horror fans such as myself, maybe not Jen. The characters, or freaks, were different than the first, apart from good old Three Finger and the old man. So it was apparent that this would be a continuation of the story of the first, which it is. But seems the new characters were not as successful when basically only Three Finger and his brothers return in the other sequels, which we'll get to. Obviously, I think they worked out some new freaks and was like, the first one was more successful. I don't know, that's what I'm feeling. So it is noteworthy that in one scene we see a hillbilly jerk off to a bikini-clad hottie on the lakefront, which is what Jen was talking about.
Yeah.
His wife came, or I'm assuming his freak deformed wife came out and got mad at him for doing this.
Yeah.
And then killed the human girl. Not only did she do that, but then she wore the human girl's face as a mask to have sex with her husband after she killed the woman.
Mm-hmm.
He bent her over a log with the mask of the face of the woman that she killed.
Yeah.
We found out that the gas station guy from the film 1 is really their daddy, but he is not into eating humans, so he just has fish. And then Henry Rollins puts a stick of dynamite down the back of his jacket, Looney Tunes styles, and he blows up. The whole second half of Wrong Turn 2 has some questionable scenes. It takes on a bit more of a goofy tone to me. We see them feed a finger to a deformed baby. We see green toxic waste and toxic waste barrels, which look like they are from an episode of Power Rangers, trickle into a water supply as to explain why the freaks are deformed. However, in later movies, it is implied that it is just good old-fashioned inbreeding. There's something disjointed about this movie. The vibe is off, or something. It feels like a sequel for the sake of sequels. Those were my notes.
Yeah. I did like it a little bit better than you, but I also really like the campiness of it. I do think it's a little bit cheesy, especially like kind of towards the beginning. It's a bit cheesy. But I mean, it definitely has redeemable qualities for me. I think it's a lot of fun. I think this movie is probably best watched with a group of people, because it has
Yeah.
some definite, potential for making jokes, making fun, that kind of thing. But I could really like tell that like the people that made this movie really like enjoy and have fun with horror.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
So of course there is lots of gore in this one. I mean,
Yeah.
most of these have gore in it. Um, Lots of disgusting moments and scenarios. I would say this is probably one of the more disgusting ones. Not maybe not the most disgusting one, because I think there's a contender for that a little bit later.
Wow.
But it is it's cheesy, it's over the top. The pacing is pretty good once it gets going. The beginning's a little eh.
Yeah.
Um, but survival show premise kind of works, especially for the time period that it was done.
Yeah.
Survival shows were like really big. I mean, they're still kind of big, but I feel like
Yeah.
they were like really really big at that time period.
Yeah. Bear Grylls and all
Oh
the
yeah.
Survival Man and
Yep.
Survivor.
Survivor. Yeah. Um, Rollins' character definitely brought some humor, definitely some cheesiness there. Most of the other characters did feel a little flat to me. So there was that again, some flat characters. Some of the special effects are really good though. I enjoyed the special effects in this one. I like the
Yeah.
part when the actress is getting split in half, like we were talking about in the beginning. Um, that was definitely one of my most memorable scenes for that whole movie. I thought they did like such a good job with her body. Also the camera work too, because that they're kind of like shooting her legs, so they don't have to do the rest of her body. They only had to focus on her legs, and the legs looked fucking phenomenal. Sorry, I
Wow.
cursed. Um, but they
We are a
did. They
family
looked
show, Jeff.
phenomenal.
This time
It
we're an
looked like real
inbred.
legs.
This time we're an inbred hillbilly folk family, so it's okay.
Yeah,
We can allow one here and there.
one slip up there.
So
Um,
the legs, and I'm so surprised because I really thought you were gonna be like dogging this movie the way that I am.
yeah,
Like we talked,
I knew
we
this was
didn't,
gonna shock you.
yeah, we didn't really talk about these movies because we wanted to save it for the show. And when I
Yep.
told you it was a roller coaster, I mean, for me, this was like the first huge dip. Like I was like, man, I really
Mm.
thought this one was kind of a big old
Oh,
sack of crap.
the dip is coming for me.
Oh,
It's
really?
coming. It's
Okay.
coming.
I mean, I'm
Zing.
not. I don't even think, and I'm not trying to give anything away here, but yeah. Okay. So two, yeah, two is the wrong turn. Two is not my least favorite,
Mm.
but it's pretty damn close. So that's shocking. I'm really surprised, and I didn't mean to cut you off. Please go on if you have anything else, because I mean,
Um,
I'm shocked at your response to this movie, quite frankly.
yeah, I mean, some of the camera shots were good. I wish I could remember exactly which shots right now, but I can't. Except for the woman getting split apart, the first 15 minutes are a little bit boring, like I said, yeah. But then once it gets going, it takes off like balls to the wall action and gore. The story of the cannibals isn't really original, but they do a pretty good job at making them feel like a sick and twisted family. I did really like that part when they're like sitting at the table. Like it's it's definitely like more of a family like they're a little bit more focused like on the family in certain parts of this movie, and I really liked that. Like, I wanted that part to get developed a little bit more, and it kind of does, like a little bit later in some of the other films.
Yeah.
Um, Especially one in particular, where they're very, very focused on family. I think you know which one
Yeah.
I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
Um,
That's a good
yeah,
one.
but yeah, it was a good one for me. Like, I kind of
Wow.
liked it. I liked it better than the first one.
What?
Um, yeah, I know,
Wait,
I
hold
know,
on.
I
Hold on.
know, I
What?
know, I know.
That doesn't even make any sense.
I
Is,
know.
is there
It's because
anybody
it was
else?
so much fun.
Is there anybody else out there that has seen these movies that can please back me up that she is crazy? Like comment, please, because that is that
And
that wow.
The people
Wow.
that would agree with me on this are people that like the cheese, the campiness, the goriness, the disgusting stuff. Like this one definitely like has that for sure.
Mm,
Yeah.
I
And that's why I
I
liked it
don't
better. It
know.
was just more
I don't
fun.
know.
Like the first one, just I don't
Yeah, but
know.
if we're talking about
Some-
technical things here, like we did the first one, if we're talking about like real technical things here, like the characters in this one were so much more underdeveloped and so much like
I agree with
less
that. I even say
interesting.
that in my notes. Yeah.
And they're so they just take all the stereotypes
Yep.
and it's just ridiculous
Agreed.
and
Ridiculous. Yes.
and like I love Henry Rollins, but I didn't even think he was that great in this. I mean, he didn't even really help.
It made me laugh.
And I felt like the family was like the family that you're talking about in the development. I felt like they were so I don't know. I don't feel like they were developed. I feel like they just threw a bunch of characters in there.
I think it was more developed than the first one, don't you? The family part.
I don't know. I think I really
You get more. You get more scenes with them together and doing things.
I might be somewhat biased though because I really liked Wrong Turn the first one when it first came out. I watched it a
Yeah.
bunch. I liked it a lot. So I mean maybe
Mm.
I am a little biased to this and maybe I had a little bit of higher hopes or higher expectations for a sequel.
Mm.
But I mean I just no, I gotta safely say I just can't agree with you on this one.
That's
I
okay.
mean, I
I
can't
didn't
even,
expect you to.
no, but I mean, typically we make good arguments, and I'm like trying to see your side here, and
Yeah.
no, no.
Well, I think that if we're going to kind of compare a little bit, the first one is good for acting and tension, and action. And then the second one is good if you like, if you want to laugh, you want to get like in a big group and just laugh. Um, and and the disgusting moments. If you like disgusting, a disgusting movie that's going to make you laugh, then watch this movie.
I mean, that's it right there. You got the recommendation from Jen, and apparently, she's even going to go as far to say that this one is better than the first, which I think is
In my
absolutely
opinion.
insane, in her opinion.
Yeah.
But that's what this whole show is about. I mean, it's not, it's just it's throwing it out there. It's yeah, of
Mm.
course it's your opinion, but I mean, still, that's a huge
Yeah.
statement. That's a huge
Also,
statement.
I feel like they get more creative in this one. That's another thing I should mention. They get a little bit more creative in this one, to me. No, not really the first part because it doesn't seem. I wasn't that interested in the first part. In fact, I thought this was going to be a horrible movie when I first started watching it. I was like, "Oh, this is going to be terrible. I'm going to hate it." Like I immediately like thought that when I first started watching it, and then the more it went on, the more I was like, "It's making me laugh. I'm not bored." I do get bored in some of the other ones later, some of the later wrong turns.
Okay,
Yeah,
I was probably at my most, almost my most bored with this one. There's one that
really.
I probably,
Uh,
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I just wasn't buying it. I wasn't buying into it. And maybe you're right. I mean, I'm not necessarily the cheesy, campy,
mm,
guru of this group. I mean, I usually kind of take my horror a little more serious. I think. Not all the time, but I
oh,
mean usually. And I don't know. You might be right. I mean, maybe I'm not fun enough for the second one. I don't know.
nah, I
Maybe
would not
that's
say
maybe
that.
that's maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'm just not. Maybe it's just not. Um, but yeah, that's a huge recommendation. So if you watched this, did you have anything else to add on Wrong Turn 2? So if you watch this second installment or continuation of our Wrong Turn movie marathon breakdown, that's a huge recommendation from Jen. I mean, I'm sitting here
Mhm.
saying watch one, she's sitting here saying watch two. We got 5 more to go, and I want you to hold on. I want you to keep watching because we've got 5 more to go, and we also are going to watch the trailer for the new one coming out with you at the end of all of this. So that would either be on the 7th episode or the end of this continuation. So please comment and tell us what you think because I'm definitely saying number one, Jen's saying number two. I think number two was a number two, if you know what I mean. So let's get your opinion on that. I would love to hear what you have to say. So Please continue on, or go ahead and click on Wrong Turn 3 after you comment and let us know how you feel about that. Thank you for watching, and see you very soon.